Hello and welcome to the Every Other Saturday podcast for a brand new episode this week where the business has finally got going. Rangers have signed a good few players now. First pre-season friendly, so we've had our idea what a Russell Martin team is hopefully going to look like when he gets these players in. There's, of course, as it's transfer window time as well, there's loads and loads of players getting linked left, right, and centre. So we'll comment on those as well and give our thoughts if we should sign them or if we should steer clear. But if you do enjoy the podcast, if you'd like, subscribe and share, and of course leave your comments about the new signings and everyone else at the ongoings of Rangers in the comments. But firstly, we'll start basically from where we left off last week when we done the podcast. It was Joe Rothwell was imminently going to be signing with the club. Nice turnaround on that one. The next day he was announced and in the shirt. We had our thoughts on it last week. Now that he's been here, I think it's a bit of smart business, especially on the low fee that we got him for. Of course, we went more into detail on him last week, so there's not too much to say left on Joe Rothwell. But he's a Rangers player. I'm happy, but hopefully he'll bring to the side a good deal of athleticism and just a solid enough midfielder. It ticks kind of all the boxes for where we want to be. And I think it's a smart signing, as we said last week.
And a solid bit of hair as well. I'm
Nah,
jealous.
Russell
I'm
Martin's
jealous.
definitely got a type.
No, listen, just a smart bit of business, and as you say, can do everything. He's obviously worked with Russell before. Was brilliant for Leeds last season, and you get him on a low deal. So, it's a smart bit of business.
Nah, we spoke about him last week, and somebody that again followed that night was Emanuel
Mm.
Fernandez. There has been brief rumours over the past couple of weeks that he was somebody on Rangers' radar. I must say, looking into him though at the time, I was like, really? Like, why are we going for a Peterborough centre half that isn't really a starting centre half for Peterborough? He's in and around. The fans don't really seem to rate him, but Rangers apparently do rate him, and they bring him to Ibrox. Rumoured fees in the millions for this one, so a hefty bit of investment, which I don't know if I naturally believe or not. I cannot see Rangers in the current climate paying 3 million plus for a guy that's not going to start. Um, when his contract's obviously coming to an end as well at Peterborough. I don't know. I think it might be including
So,
add-ons and all that kind of stuff. But he's here. He's about 6'5". He looked a bit of a unit in the game the other day. I think it can be a promising signing. It's definitely a risk this one though for me, but we'll see as part of the centre half options what he can do up here.
is a bit of Nico Katic for me, really. Obviously, when he signed as well, was potential in it. It was just
Mm-hmm.
well signed for the potential of what he could be. Listen, I know he could come up here, do a decent job and what have you. I'm skeptical as well on it. I can't see his forking out millions for a boy who's playing for Peterborough, but manager rates him apparently really highly. Obviously, knows the boy, didn't he? That's the Peterborough manager or something. I don't know. I'm seeing him talking about it, but I think it's one of them where it's one maybe for the future with potential add-on sell-ins if it goes really well. But you never know. It could go disastrous. I've heard people talk about that he needs to get a bit more size about him, toughen up a wee bit more or what have you, to play up here. But who knows? It's obviously about the style and the play and who can fit it. And obviously Russell Martin believes this boy can. Don't know, is he a starter? But is it are we starting this guy here? You know what I
That's
mean?
what I was saying there. I don't believe so.
Because that's the concern. Obviously, we're letting the French boy go out on loan. And then finally, hopefully, he's got to go. He can't be at Rangers. I'm sorry. Don't care how well he's done at youth level and that he has to go. But surely this guy can't be starting. I mean, the one for obviously for me and you that we're desperate to get in the door is Connor Cody. We want to get that. That's the one to me that makes the most sense to say.
Well,
But if
again,
this
that one's. It seems like that's kind of all broken down now. To be honest with you, it seems
that's
like Connor Cody's went really quiet.
that's not what I'm liking. I think it's probably because I done the woe last week, mate, and
Aye.
he went, listen, I'm not coming if that's what we're going to be doing at Ibrox. So that might be on me, but no, I'm just a bit. As I say, I'm a bit nervous with some of the centre halves who have been linked me and signing me. Personally, for me, I know so maybe touch on it and what have you, the other boy, but I'm just no keen now on players coming here for a season, doing really well, and then Rangers getting nothing out of it. I'm just no keen on that personally, but I
But
will
but
see how
the,
it
the
goes.
thing where I look into that is if they come here, we win the league and they leave and they help us win the
Oh,
league, then
well,
I'm cool with it.
aye.
But
But you
I
still
do
want
get
to
the
get
argument.
a bit of a fee, you know what I mean, or what have you. I mean, Russell Martin's talking about players that straight away they've got to say yes or we're moving on and what have you. I just like, you want this guy in a permanent, do you not? So you can sell him on. But it's just me. I'm just tired of watching players doing really well here, falling in love with them on loan, and then they disappear and the heartbreak's still there. You know what I mean?
Aye. Well, of course, Emanuel Fernandez is here permanently, which is a good thing. At least hopefully we can develop his skills. He's shown to be someone that can definitely develop. Good with the ball at his feet. Just needs to sharpen up, and I think playing in a better team, playing we kind of more impetus on him having the ball in the opposition's half, because you've seen even for the Club Brugge game that the back four was basically pushed up as high as it could be. So I think he could definitely thrive in a Russell Martin team, and it's all about him now getting better. It's been a good journey for him. I've followed. I was looking at his journey, and he's came through non-league over the past 5 years to this point. So fair play to the
Very
guy. And he's
similar to
now Rangers
Vardy
player.
on it.
Aye,
Vardy was
similar there.
playing.
Aye.
So it's good to see that. You like seeing that.
Aye, so Rangers were clearly high on and getting him in, so he'll definitely be an option for us next season. We'll see how he gets on. And then probably the more exciting of the three is Theo Aasgaard, signed from Luton Town. I believe it was a fee of about £3 million. Had a relegation clause in his contract, so Luton basically get the money back that they paid for him in January. Exactly kind of what we're looking for. Somebody in the middle that can provide moments, provide flair, not scared to have a shot on goal. Of course, looking at his stature as well, he's 6'2", so he's a big lad as well. Still a lot of potential. Only 23 years old. He's now broke into the Norway team, which is littered with talent at the moment. So this is an exciting deal for me, and someone I think that can really come up here and hopefully give us the moments that we need to win games.
And he's probably the first person I've heard from Norway with a Scoutser accent, which is,
Aye.
you know what I mean? No, I'm excited about this one as well. Obviously, you're you're nervous with the amount of people we are signing for Championship League One kind of level, but listen, this guy's a bit of quality, so something that we need in the door, and it's a smart, as I say, another smart deal, smart business yet again that Rangers are doing. I look forward to him. Look forward to watching him play. Obviously, I hope he has Thor's hammer ready at the touchline for when he celebrates. You know what I mean?
Aye.
Aye. No, I'm excited with this one.
I think he's an exciting player. He's a player that will hopefully get fans off their feet. And I think in a Russell Martin team as well. I think these signings have came for a way where Russell Martin's worked with them, or he's watched them from afar. He's obviously managed in the same league as them. He knows what their talents are, and he knows what he could then develop them with. So I think signings like this, I don't want to sign every single player for England, but the
No, it
three
makes
that we've
sense for
signed
this.
this week, I think definitely will improve where we're going as a squad. Because as a squad, we need to beef it up, and we need to get rid of a few duds, as we did see on the game in the Sunday against Club Brugge. Again, it was more of a fitness session, more of a get back to Ibrox, get players' first taste of the Ibrox turf. But it was a bit of a mixed bag in terms of the two halves. That was the team that started the game. Obviously, Liam Kelly coming in, Max Aarons coming in for his first start. I thought he looked pretty good out on the right hand side. I think you can clearly see why we've signed him. He'll only keep getting better and better. Proper and King, it was a bit difficult conceding the two goals early on in the first half. Just a centre half partnership that we'll never see again. King, of course, probably close to leaving for Wycombe Wanderers now, and Robin Proper. That deal with FC20 just seems to keep on
It's
waiting away.
I don't know. It seems like, as I say, it seems like they want him. He's just undecided, and maybe he was thinking to himself, "I'll maybe get a shot." But listen, no, you need to get a shot out the door and get
Nah,
yourself back to your old team, pal. I'm sorry.
he's not good enough, and I think he's seen through the training videos as well. He's not somebody that's going to be able to play Russell Martin's style out for the back. I mean, there's a
No,
lot of pressure on the centre halves to basically start the move, and I don't think he's that guy. Look, we've seen he's not going to be that guy. He's not good enough, and he'll have to be moved on, because if we're signing a couple more centre halves to actually start games and give us a good crop of players to work with, he's not going to be one of those guys. Yefty, of course, still starting at left back, I thought was decent. Again, somebody, there's not really much you can say on a lot of these players. It is the pre-season game after all. But Yefty, I think, is somebody in time will definitely flourish under Russell Martin. The midfield three, Connor Barron, of course, getting the captain's armband over Nico Raskin, which is a bit of a surprise there. But more of the same kind of for Barron and Raskin that we're used to. Kieran Dowell, of course, back at Rangers, and hopefully just a short window thing where he's going to be leaving the club pretty soon, because he's probably one of the most useless players we've ever signed. I've never seen him do anything of note on the pitch ever. And he's one that's going to need to go. Danilo, Cortez, of course, working back to their full level of fitness for last season, working hard in pre-season. We've seen the videos for Danilo. But I think definitely the standout for this game was Finlay Curtis. Finlay Curtis was the only player to get 90 minutes. He got rewarded with his goal late on. I think we've spoke about him at length all season last year, thinking, right, when's he getting a chance? When's he getting an opportunity? Brief cameos here and there, but for me, he's good enough to break into the first team now and actually get a chance. And I think, for me, one of the highlights.
No, definitely one of the highlights to say was the only one really to get full 90 minutes, which obviously tells you manager's keen. And that's what we want to see. We do need to start, as I say, bringing some of these lads through and giving them a chance. Obviously, I know Rice is another one we're all rooting for as well. I'm even rooting for the goalie boy. I know, I forgot his name. Big tall boy. Can't remember his name.
Mason Munn.
I'm rooting for him as well. It's just, I think it's just good to see young players for the academy break through and get in. Obviously, as I say, manager was praising him heavily. It's good to see him get his first goal at Ibrox as well. So you can't go much off, obviously, this game. You know, it's just a wee warm-up session for what's come. The one that we will be keenly judging and keeping an eye on, obviously, will be the Champions League game coming up, which is massive. I know they're away, but they're away to training, I think we down to England, isn't it?
It's down England, so...
And obviously, we've got Hamza and that coming back, and Desslers and all, but we'll see how that is when everybody else gets properly involved. But I mean, I'm sorry if the likes of Proper and Dow and all that are still. I mean, I'm nervous, as I say. I'm hoping Proper's away, but I mean, I thought this guy was going to Birmingham. I thought him and his mate Ben Davies were going to take the car down. They were moving to Birmingham. You know what I mean?
You would think.
You know what I mean? But they're away signing Kyogo, so. You know what I mean?
I think it's Dow's a weird one again. I think it will probably lead to him going out on loan. To be honest, if we can cut our losses, cut them. But it's like these players like Matondos and Dow's, or they'll just keep coming back to haunt us, really. So like these players that we've signed for high fees, long contracts, big wages, we just need to yell on that.
I don't know about yourself if you read much into it. Obviously, Aaron's gets number 3 now, and obviously Rivan's he's obviously lost 33, the number.
I think. So I think I read into it saying Ridvan wanted 33 anyway because he some for his youth team or something. I don't know.
I don't know, but I'm just thinking myself, maybe if that's a wee thing, maybe he might be one of them that looking to maybe get out the door as well.
Again, I think everybody's got a value, so I don't think anybody will be safe really. But somebody definitely comment on for the second half in the game was Bayrami. I can't believe we're speaking of Bayrami in a positive light, but he came on and he showed me what I wanted to see from every game he played last season. Was just a bit of energy, a bit of hunger to try and get on the ball to make things happen, and he get the assist later on in the second half for Finlay Curtis. But he's somebody that definitely reacted well to the situation in the game, and I thought he performed well. Diomande, of course, got a goal with a nice finish, and some of the young lads get on as well. Gentles, Hutton, and Rice, of course. So there's definite there's potential in these guys that we're bringing up for the academy. There's definite potential. Russell Martin said some players will surprise him this season, and there might be a few in this team that he might fancy keeping. But I think if you're looking as a whole, there's about 4 or 5 there that could definitely be cut for the squad.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, McCausland just going to give him to Motherwell or something. Give me somebody in the league.
It's just no use.
Fuck, man. I know, as I say, we'll really obviously get into it when it's proper Champions League games, and obviously the league just right down the corner, man. It's crazy.
No, 2 weeks now to that Champions League game. Of course, there's Finlay Curtis with with his goal celebration, and it looks to be the next incoming ahead of that Champions League game is going to be Nasser Jigga from Wolverhampton Wanderers, season-long loan deal. Centre half that joined Wolves for €10 million in January. Of course, Wolves have signed this guy to be a possible prospect for the future for them. They've seen enough in him to invest that amount of money in him. And for me, when I first saw this, I was kind of like you, like, why are we signing players to develop another team's player and all this kind of stuff? But the more I thought about it, I'm like, right, if we can get a good centre half in for a season on loan to try and address that situation for a season until we get the right proper guys long term in there, get somebody in that we can at least rely on that's got, of course, a lot of potential. He's got a good stature. I think he's about 6'6" for this league that some have lacked for years. We've went for the Ben Davies proper type. Now we should be going for like the Nasser Jigga, Fernandez kind of centre half where we know they can deal with the capabilities, and of course he's a guy again that will fit Russell Martin's style, and he'll be coming here to start. For me, I don't see any reason why he would come up here and not start. And he played 33 games, I think, last season. All 8 in the Champions League for Red Star Belgrade, where he got a goal and an assist from centre half. And then made his move to Wolves in January. Played 6 games. Of course, Wolves were going through a bit of a tough time where they had to just win games and stay up, so he wouldn't have been getting too much of an opportunity. But these are the kind of loan deals, the more I've looked into it, makes sense for me. Get a good, young, promising centre half in for a season. Hopefully, he takes us to glory this season with winning some trophies. He can then move on and further his development wherever else. We could maybe get him back on another loan the next season with an option to buy for then. But it definitely looks like he's going to be the next in the door as maybe early as the day.
Oh, hopefully. I think obviously Champions League like minutes and stuff like that is massive. But as I say, I'm just over like signing boys on loans, and then as you say, it doesn't matter if they win the league and whatever. But like just over developing other clubs' players. I want people in permanent. I think centre half wise, you should be looking to get permanent players in that are going to be here for the long term. I think I understand, and I can see your point where you're talking about obviously get them in for a season, then maybe potentially we could go for it again, maybe sign them permanent. But I don't know, man. Not keen on just
I think,
signing
see if
somebody.
we can put our money elsewhere. I think
But the most important to me, the most important area Rangers need to improve in and get better in is the centre halves. We've not had a decent centre half probably since what Conor Golson left. Can't think that it's been.
well, in terms of a partnership, it's not since we won the league really where we've had a nailed on partnership. I think that's maybe the drive this season is to get 4 competing centre halves to really push for like continuity in there, because I mean, like, even for seasons gone by, we've been playing James Sands at centre half, we've been playing Tavernier at centre half, we've been playing Lundstrom at centre half at points. Like, there's been no level of continuity in that area for years. And the way I kind of look at it, for me, I think we're getting a good centre half up here on loan, with a lot of potential, and obviously he's already had a lot of experience in the Champions League last season. And I would like us to go and put our money to the wide areas and the striker
I will.
positions and
No,
all that.
absolutely, 100%. But still think most important area you can hang me is your defence, man. That's where you got to be. You want to win. You know what I mean? Obviously, the wide men, whatever you, I think you get them in the door. Obviously, eventually, whatever you, I just no key. It's just me, maybe, mate. I'm just no keen on signing another player on loan. Does really well up here, and we get fuck all. Maybe he wins the league and what have you.
I think,
Obviously, more
see,
than
once
could
we
do
start to
again, but
maybe accept that, look, loan deals for us are going to be kind of out of reach if we're wanting players at this level. Like, we really couldn't financially sign Nasser Jigga from Wolves.
oh, could we?
Same with Max Aarons. So if we get 2 good players up here with a good level of an experience, they definitely improve the team. I mean, he comes in and improves the
Absolutely.
team. I think for me, I'm looking at it more like that rather than right what's round the corner in a year. Because I think that's what the club are maybe trying to do. There's been a lot to uptake this season. Obviously, Niels Coppin had his scouting stuff that's maybe been exiled or whatever. The club are now doing their due diligence on who they should sign, and I think they're maybe looking at some prospects at centre half, getting somebody in on loan. I think the next signing at centre half will probably be a permanent one, and you've got 4 or 5 that you can rotate in and pick from. And that will give them more funds, obviously, to spend throughout the team. That's how I kind of see the club
No,
viewing it.
no, listen.
But I totally understand everybody's thoughts and opinions on, look, we're just signing a guy here to just develop him for
Man,
another team.
obviously, like, well, listen, he looks like a unity, an absolute boy, do you know what I mean? And it goes really well, but you also think as well, you know what I mean? What if it goes, I mean, the demands is going to be on him to have the ball, do you know what I mean? Ping it about all the time. I mean, I don't, as I say, I know nothing about the boy. I won't judge him or hang with him. I'm not watching YouTube highlights again. We know how that goes when we watch the YouTube highlights. We just need to wait and see, as I say. I just want to get players in permanent. That's just me, as I say. Also, I know we've got 1 or 2 on loan now, which you're fine with, but I'd like to just, my centre halves, well, here to stay and you can build. As I say, I get see your point, obviously, gives us the finance to go in and then strengthen the attack, which is obviously massive for us. But I will see, man. We'll see how it goes for him.
Aye, I think, aye, as
Hopefully
I
it gets
say,
done today. Would be nice. It
aye,
strengthen us.
it definitely seems like that will be very imminently to be announced. The next one was Jerison Raksaki from Crystal Palace. Broke through, I think, Saturday night that Rangers are possibly targeting him. He was on loan at Sheffield United last season. Of course, they
Yep.
made the push for the playoffs and the league, of unfortunately missing out to Sunderland in the playoff final. But again, Crystal Palace, a good place to go if you're going down to England and trying to get young guys in. You see what they've done with their squad. I mean, Olise and Eze and all these guys that they've brung through and developed. And Raksaki could be another one of those guys that potentially slips through the cracks and they have to go and reap the rewards somewhere else. And I think I'm happy we're targeting another winger because obviously Kwame Poku happened and gone. He went elsewhere. We need more players in different areas. By all accounts, it looks like Theo Aasgaard is going to be playing more centrally, albeit he can play out in the wide areas as well. But we definitely need at least 3 wingers in this window to help Oscar Cortez. Ross McCausland can obviously go. So if you've got 4 wingers that you can then pick from, you've maybe got a couple of players in the middle that can fill in where needed as well. I do think this one is maybe just a bit, a
I'll,
reach though. I think Crystal Palace definitely value him a decent amount. Again, it would probably be a loan option to buy or something like that for
just
5-6 million.
and just another point I would bring up as well. Obviously, at the time before he went to Hingme, I think Leeds were in for him as well. So
No, so you
I
can put
think,
2 and 2 together there with
aye.
that. But decent enough season. 36 games played last season, 7 goals. I think he is still only 22 as well, so still plenty of room for development. And to me, I quite like him as a player. For what I've seen, watched him. I think he would be someone that would come up here and hopefully flourish. But I do think it's a bit of the I think Leeds are probably the team that would more likely sign him for a fee than us, really. So maybe one that's going to be out of our range. But somebody that possibly could be in our range is Wesley Patatti, the Brazilian winger from Maccabi Tel Aviv. No surprise, Maccabi Tel Aviv again. We were targeting Don Turgman as well this season. But I mean, this guy looks really, really good in terms of stats and the teams that are chasing him. I believe that AZ Alkmaar have recently had a bid knocked back for him. They bid €3.5 million, and it looks like Maccabi Tel Aviv are wanting between 5 and 6 million euros. So it's definitely in our ballpark where we can negotiate. I mean, you look at his stats for last season: 39 goals, 39 appearances, sorry,
39
13
goals,
goals.
mate. Get him in the fucking tournament.
I'd be at Real Madrid with the kind of stats, but no, 39 appearances, 13 goals, 10 assists for the wide areas. Is somewhere, of course, since Václav Černý has left, we've not got that anymore. So for me, again, I believe he's only 22. An exciting
Just
link for me.
no, definitely exciting, and it's just one of them. I'm sorry, you need to, as much as it is, you need to go and pay the hefty fee that they're demanding because I mean, you look at Hamza. People looked at that and went,
Mm-hmm.
they're paying 200 million for a player out, and then he's flourish. So it could be the same for this guy. I'd just like to get some wingers in the door. I'd like to get some forwards in the door. I know that is that Croatian boy. He's away to Hull or something for like
Well, I don't.
seven
I
odd.
think that's broke through because Hull have got
Is it?
a transfer embargo now after that deal, so
Yeah.
I think he's still available.
Well, I mean, I'd like to just start seeing some attacking players come in the door now as well. And it's even the boy for Palace as well. I know I'm a bit hypocritical here when obviously I was going on about centre half coming in on loan, but I would take him on a loan. He done decent enough in the Championship and what have you. But it'd be just nice to get somebody in the door, as I say. If you have to pay a hefty fee, I would just be paying it because you need to. Do you know what I mean?
No, well,
It's
you look at the
the
left wing
market is
options.
now.
Nah, I mean, if you look at the options that we've got on the left hand side,
Terrible.
Cortez, of course, is the one that you're hoping can break through, but that's it. That's the only option we've got out on the left hand side. And I can remember last season as well, Oscar Cortez was the only option we had on the left hand side. So um, we need strength and depth in the wide areas, and the club know that. The club definitely know that with the players that we're getting linked with. Wesley Patatti for me though would be a huge marquee signing if we could get it over the line. And somebody that, like as you say, we need to spend money to actually get good players. We just can't keep
Can But that's what I'm
getting
on. But
low
you
cut
can't.
cost deals and stuff. We need to actually sign good players as well for good fees that we know are going to contribute.
But that's it, mate. You can't just be signing the players that you know you're going to get for cheap and that. You know, we're told we've got a wee bit of money there to spend. Well, let's go out and spend it a wee bit and push it. I mean, Champions League game, as I keep going on about, obviously, it's the financial rewards of getting into that are massive, so we can afford to get
Hmm.
better quality players in. You know what I mean, like this, and pay the fee and pay the wage. As I say, if you want quality, you need to spend now. That's just the way it is in the market. You know what I mean? You have to pay the stupid prices for players probably a couple of years ago you could have got on the cheap. As I say, it'd be nice to just get somebody in the door.
Nah, I think we're definitely moving in the right direction with that anyway. And somebody's name that has
But on
not
this as
went away
well,
this summer is Jamie Vardy. What's your thoughts on it?
I mean, it makes look, all the chances Dessers misses, you know he buries. He's a proven winner. You know
He's
what I mean?
somebody that will get you Everton as well.
He'll give you Everton. I can only imagine the celebrations if he scores for us against them. I mean, he probably fucking kicked the flagpole and everything like he did with
Hmm.
the Hingme one. But I don't know, man. I like a bit of experience, fair play. I get it, Matty, but I kind of want to just get some of these other boys in the door. As I say, I prefer the Israel to get the Israeli boy in, and as I say, the Croatian. I'd prefer with the two of them. But as I say, if it does happen, I can see why it happens. As I say, proven winner, and he buries the chances that Dessers misses. Somebody that just, you know what I mean, can finish, can do everything, can absolutely do
And
everything.
that's the thing. He's not going to be coming up here as the starting striker. He's going to be the option that will bring off the bench
Think
in the
so?
60th minute. I see
You think
him
so? I
definitely
don't
being
know. I
a
could
third option as a
a
striker.
third option. Jamie
Especially
Vardy's a third option.
at 30 years, 8 years old as well. I don't believe his
How
body
many?
will be able to go for that
How?
many games starting.
Well, I mean, done it himself. All the Red Bull he fucking probably drinks. Do you know what I mean? How many games did he play for Leicester last season? He still got a
So,
decent amount of goals.
aye, on to the stats. I mean, 9 goals in the Premier League for probably the
Decent.
shittest Leicester team we've seen in the Premier League. So he's still scoring goals. He's still, of course, a good player. He's a guy that would definitely excite the fans. It'll only be a year contract if it had to happen. But I do believe
Well,
wages could definitely be an issue with Jamie Vardy, where his agents may be looking for more than we can offer. It's out of our kind of ballpark. But if he wants to come up here for a year and finish his career off, so be it. I think it would be a good option as part of your striking options. I feel that if
I can.
it's more of the Defoe type role for me. Your Moreloses and Roofs maybe go off. You bring
Aye,
on
aye.
your Defoe at the time. It will be kind of the same for Vardy for me.
I don't know. I could see him. I think he's one of the kind of guys as well. He probably still wants to play. Still feels like he can. He can give a lot.
Nah, I would hope
But
so. Aye,
I don't know. I can't see him being the third choice striker if he comes up. You just
nah,
leaving the.
that's the only way I can see it. To be honest.
I I can't see him wanting to yank somebody that's come for the Premiership's going to be like, I am happy to sit for a year and just get fucking
Well, I think
Motherwell in the
he'll
cup at
factor
home.
in his age and the
I
fact
bet
that it
you
was
look at,
probably going to be his
listen,
last year and that. Like,
age is nothing now in the game. Age is nothing now. Oh, like, you look at Ronaldo, you know what I mean? Like, that guy's going to probably play until he's 50. You know what I mean? Like,
hmm
no, it's just, I think he's the kind of guy he'd only want to come up here if he's going to be maybe not first choice, but second. I can see him just. I don't know. For me, as I say, he's a proven winner, and he would definitely bury all the chances that fucking Dessers misses.
Yeah.
As I say, if it's a year, then I fair play.
Nah,
That,
I don't mind the link to that one. And then finishing on is Luke De Jong, kind of in a similar ballpark. He's about 4 years older than Jamie Vardy though. He's a guy that's caused us a lot of problems when we've played them over the past couple of years. He, to me, is who I would rather go with. I mean, look at his stats for last season at 34 years old. He fired PSV to the title again, scoring 18 goals and getting 13 assists in all competitions on a free transfer. This is one that's came up as of yesterday. I would 100% be all in on Luke De Jong, somebody that actually has a lot of experience in the game, out with England as well. For me, I prefer it over Vardy.
I mean, I'd be there in the same boat as you say. He was at Newcastle, wasn't he? Was he not, wasn't he? He's
No, I think he was
been
there with
around,
his
didn't he?
brother. Aye,
He's been around, aye.
he's been at
As I say,
Barcelona. He's been about.
uh, I'd prefer the Israeli boy coming in the door and the Croatian. But I mean, if you're offering out the two of them, I would probably be in the same boat as you, playing in a what you'd say a fairly similar kind of league,
hmm For the
European kind
team that's obviously up
of.
challenging as well.
I know I'd be in the same boat as you. As I say, I'd be wanting to get him in the door. But yet again, is he going? He's not going to be wanting to be come to Ibrox and be third choice
I
striker.
I think it would be different for Luke De Jong. I think he's obviously a bit younger. He's playing all the time for PSV. He's still in the national squad. I think he would be coming up here. I definitely to be
Start.
a starter. Unlike Vardy for me, that's personally how I kind of view the two of them. Both free transfers, but I think you would get a lot more out of Luke De Jong for a couple of seasons rather than
Mm.
just Jamie Vardy paying him a boatload of wages for a year. I would definitely more fancy Luke De Jong, but aye, as we're running out of time here anyway, that's kind of everything as we're up to date as of Tuesday morning. You would expect Nasser Jigga to be finalised and announced within the next 24 hours, and
Yeah,
everything
that
else.
rapid. Say it, say his name rapid, eh?
I
Eh,
know,
But
I need
listen,
to watch.
the thing for me, as I say, the outgoings is the more concerning for me, as I'm saying. What was it Russell Martin was saying the offer or something on Dessers was a bit lower than
Aye.
what they wanted and all that. I mean, come on, you need to just start being getting rid of people. I mean,
Mhm.
for me, as I say, some of the deadwood that's still here that are just collecting a wage. I mean, I don't care if Matondo's injured or not, but have you? Personally, I just release him. I just
He's
release.
just going to be a guy that
Cut your
I think
losses.
we've paid about 10 million worth in transfer fees and wages since he's been here. It's just one of the worst deals that we've
I would just
ever
just
done.
cut your losses. I don't care if he's injured or not. You know what I mean? Get him going.
Nah,
Um,
if we
and I mean,
can, we'll definitely do that. I think.
and as I say, there's one or two who are obviously I know they're involved in now. It's pre-season. We know what obviously can happen in pre-season, but I just think there's a lot of them that still need to go. And hopefully, as you say, we get more business done and we're decent enough for the Champions League game because I really, as I say, tired of the excuses. We weren't prepared. We weren't this or that. Now we get some decent players in the door and all that kind of stuff. We'll see what happens.
Nah, and definitely in the next week, I think the squad will look a lot different. So, aye, keep your eye on our socials. We'll be posting our thoughts and opinions and about the rumours and that. And we'll be back next week again to cover the latest happenings at Rangers and look forward. Sorry to that Champions League game. So we'll see you then.